ברוכים הבאים.
All right, let me again. Okay, we'll go on page Kuf Aleph. Page Kuf Aleph. Like how many lines? 8 lines from the bottom. Kol mashu b'chinas hatzor v'akov v'yosef b'chinas gila v'gila yosef. In order for in order for the gila to happen, there has to be hakov. Has to be the opposite. There has to be the hatzor v'akov, what he calls you, which means in other language it's called the tzimtzum, hold himself in. וכמו כן משפיע מקבל, שעל ידי שמשפיע מצי ומעכב את ההשפעה בעצמו, על ידי זה בו שכל השייך למקבל. So similar to that, we also have in a mashpia makabel, which means a teacher and a student. When the mashpia holds in the mashpia ba'atzmoi, he stops the flow. That itself, the stoppage, that turns into the gil makabel. The time v'sibas hadova shlevar b'chama yifanim b'zel amayla mizeh. Now the inner reasoning and the cause and the reason for that is going to give us three way to explain why, in order to reach the makabel, the mashpia has to be ma'akev v'oitza, block and contain within himself the gil. So he gives three efanim. Aleph, the first shot, by stopping and blocking the ashpa within himself, that itself puts him more in the world of the makabel. Then when he learns, when the teacher learns and understands the idea of himself in the mitzvah, because the idea, the way he understands it, is a very lofty and very high level. So it is in a it's above the level of the makabel. Kamay neshama da'atzilus. Again, neshama da'atzilus. It says in Zoya shukben the chofis niza the base. Neshama da'atzilus is like a son who searches the treasures of the house, the hainu, which means he's going to explain to you. The hainu pnes da'atzilus l'mayla da'atzilus mishkos l'makam acher. The neshama da'atzilus. The Zohar describes that the son and a foreigner, or even a servant. So the son, the son has the access to the treasures of the father. So he's busy. The base. Same thing. The shamas that Atzilus are compared to a son because the son has access to Atzilus, Lamalim Atzilus. That's a dogma. So because because the person is in the Shamadat Silos, says B'chal Shalei Be'er to the Makablim. It's like he's going to bring later that Silos thing, so we'll understand why he brings that Silos. When this mashpia Mailim hides, Ma'akev and blocks he stops that flow of sechel the way he understands it. So he lowers himself in his state of being, in his level, and then he can be in the same world as the makabel. Gam כשמעכב 10 שכל, מקום יש 10 שכל אצלו. even when he's ma'akav seichel, even when he blocks it, doesn't mean that he doesn't have it anymore. It's there, but it's hidden. Then when since it's not totally put away aside, it's there, but it's hidden. So when he himself laws himself to the state of the makabel, then he reaches the stage that he finds within his mind that type of seichel that the student can relate to. In that gufa, there's a few stages. First, there's the level of nekuda, and then it's pashtus. In that gufa, the yutke vovke, there's the first, he blocks it all together. Then he finds within himself the eosech shachal makabel. And the eosech shachal makabel gufa, first in the state of nekuda, and then the state of pashtus. It's similar to the way we described the way things are in the seichel, in the mashpia makabel. The same thing is in the nimshel mailo. Shekosa b'tereh b'divamas ha'pasach Eliyahu Parshas Vayera. In the tereh Parshas Vayera, the Mayim ha'pasach Eliyahu, he says over there, it's the pirush v'atzalti min haruach asher alecha. It says that the Eibush told Moshe Rabbeinu, es for l'shivim ish ziknei Yisrael, v'atzalti min haruach asher alecha v'samti aleim. What does v'atzalti mean? Salt is a type of hashpah. So the Targum says that the Rebbe says pshat in the words or tzalti min haruach asher alecha oirid ve'amshech b'china shelcho lamata medregos. I will lower and draw down your level below your stage, not your level, your state of your mode of asagas alikus to a lower grade. So you see the word tzalti means oirid, I will lower it. Atzilus is a prince agilish chotzlatzmos ekaviyachol v'shkos makamach. The whole concept of elam atzilus means the way the Eibishter expresses himself, reveals himself outside of himself. So that's the diuk that Allah Shna Alter Rebbe oirid. So that's explanation number one, why only to that Tzorah cover we get the Gilui. If the person, which is simple, let's try to understand it. In simple terms, when the teacher, the mashpia, is in a very high level, his world lives in his own world, in his own bubble. So it's not shy. It's not shy. It should be misgal ala makabel. The makabel sees him and listens to him, but it doesn't reach him. It's not gilui. The makabel doesn't get anything. Only when the mashpia lowers himself to a lower grade, then we reach the stage that is galus to the makabel. That's pshat one. Why that Tzorah v'Akova brings the gilui. Habezu. So that's one pshat that the Tzorah v'Akova puts the Moirid v'Amshich, puts the mashpia in a state that the makabel, in a low grade that the makabel can relate to. Habez, pshat number two. Shalidei hakova yesh la'or davar nechaz. Shalidei ze nasa p'nas oyer. So brings another dogma. Something called davar nechaz. That through the Helen v'Esther, there's a second being created there. Without the alam of Astor, the teacher is in his world. To the Tzorah v'Akova, all of a sudden there's also a world of the makabel. Truth is, in Mitzad Avanas Inyan, it's pretty subtle difference. So we'll soon look up the way the Frierdiker Rebbe copies this Maimon. He adds a few words. Maybe that will help us understand better.
What mimer is it?
Sorry, what?
What mimer from the Frierdiker Rebbe is it?
I put it in the WhatsApp and soon.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
But this is the lesson from the Rebbe Rashab, right?
Yeah. You look, the Frierdiker Rebbe starts Kishemesh Morgan Avayalikim, the first Tzadik base. You look, hopefully that he says a few more words. Maybe that will help us all understand. But like I said, from our perspective, it's a very subtle difference. Let's see the way it says it. Yesh la'oyer davar nechas. It brings a different mashal portion. In the first one, the mashal is from Mashpia Makabel. Here it brings a mashal from fire and a candle. It says in other places of Siddur, the element of fire, the element, the essence, the abstract element of fire, it's not hot and it's not light. The fact that we see, when we look at a candle and we see fire, really, the etzem is Seida'ish, it's not fire and it's not hot. It's not the psila. There's a psila, there's a wick, there's the candle that creates the fire. And there's the psila nasach. Only because there's a wick, that it's only that creates a situation that there's a light that you can see. Only when you reach something out, then makes the light shine. Without the psila, the light, the Seida'ish doesn't shine. In this particular, in the number base, in the Oifena base, it brings a source. Pasuk says in Baruch Nafshi, Oite Oyer Kasalma, that he covers himself with not covers. What's the word oite? Like lisatif. What's the word in English? Oite oir. He covers himself. Wraps. He wraps himself with oir kasalma, light like a garment. What's meant this? Chaydea salma levush, through the salma levush, which to the garment which is something outside. Nase chinas ervigil. So
It's not exactly, because the psilo, this is an Aish Gashmis, not the Mok V'Shir Shorer.
What?
So there is an Aish Gashmis that is Nechaz the psilo, that is Sheresh.
But without the psila, the etzema is say the eish would not shine, because there is a psila, so takes the they say the eish and turns it into eish gashmi. That's the point, the idea here. Because there's a psila that makes the etzem say the eish into a real fire that shines, that's hot. The psila, the outside being, that turns the etzem say the eish into something tangible that we can see, that we can feel. So there's a mashal. Okay, let's see. This is a medrash. Then the Chagav brings the medrash, which is really, it says the medrash asks the same question Tamaima asks. This is a medrash. Was light created? Melamed and he wrapped himself in a salma, in a garment. The hivik zivado. That's how the Medrash describes how light was created. The Eibishter wrapped himself in a garment, and the ray of his glory was shining. What does it mean? It says, "Atmi al b'risar." So this question, what was the question? What about the rest of reality? Why is the question dafka on oil? Why? Because the same question. The same, basically what he says here, that the question Medrash asks is the question that our Maimar asked. Remember earlier, it was a while ago, but earlier in the Maimar, he asked the question like 5 times. How is it possible that the etzem should become begol? It says this. So really, this is really the depth of the question in this in this medrash. The yesh pres giloy va'atz migam kachayah go va'atz migam pres geda giloy like we learned earlier in the Maimon, because the etzem is shalei l'mayla geda giloy, and the oyes giloy can eich nivar va'giloy. So that's really the question of the question of the medrash ma'eich nivar sayra. So he learns pshat that the question is asking actually the our Maimon, the question of our Maimon. How is it possible that Gilu should come out of Etzem? If the Omar, that is the answer. That he wrapped himself in a something something that he can capture. So that is. So we see here that in order for the oil to become oil v'gilu, you need a salmo. You need a something that covers up the atzor of our cover.
Is this not exactly the first king?
That's what I was asking before. That when you think about it, it's very similar to the first, but he says it's the second one. So let me see. Let's think how is we have to figure out what's the difference between this pshat and the first pshat. I am having a hard time exactly understanding the difference. He uses words. Over here it says davar nechas, something outside. In the first one it says, we just spoke about ma'akev. It's very subtle. That's why I said we look at the Friedrich Maimon. Maybe that will help us a little bit. But now the Chagav, so this shtickle Salma, like I said when we started learning the Maimon, this is really based on the Maimon of the Alter Rebbe in Mamorad Marzak Meleim Zivim Fikim Noiga, and we learned, I mentioned we learned the same Maimon in Tafresh Samachei. There's a Maimon V'layodish Esclerosis Simchas Samachei, which over there it's a hanocha. It's not. It's also based on the same Maimon of the Alter Rebbe. So I guess in the Alter Rebbe brings this nisativ b'salma, but here in the Chotzi Eagle, the Rebbe was saying adds the Makamacha Mavur that in some places it says pshat the b'shosh b'china salma. Now what is salma? What does it mean? The Eibishter covered himself with the salma. Wrapped himself in the salma. What is it? Salma zeo p'chinas hamachshava da'ano emloich. Like we learned in a few Maimorim, that the whole yesod of Chassidus, the whole yesod of the entire other world was created. Then there's the machshava of hana emloich. The first source of the entire creation of the system is a machshava da'anela. The Eibishter Kaviyachol has a machshava, thought, a desire, an interest to be king. That's why he created the entire universe, to be king. Meilei says. So that's the psalm. So this machshava this machshava of ano emlech, that is like similar to the salmon, something from the outside, a garment, because the belong of him the only of melucha ein melech b'lo am. The only of melucha means that you create something outside of yourself. That's like a salmo. It's like a garment from the outside. It's an
What's the
outside.
pshat of Eite Oil Kasalmo? What's the connection between oil and salmo?
That's exactly what he's saying in this mimer. That in order to be oil, needs salmo. In order to be misgal, it has to be garment. You have to cover yourself. I mean, you know the simple pshat look, the simple pshat in Pasuk and Bachanaf, I'm not sure, but the Eibishter created light similar like a garment. Light is like in other words, in Pasuk means that oil is compared to a salma. But here in the Medrash and the Maimah, it says the oil is to the salma. Salma is helem. Salma means an outside garment. It's like a person gets dressed, and we can say that in order to get to show off, to go outside, you have to get dressed. Or to show yourself, you have to get dressed. So the dress gives you the ability to show yourself, to be oil, to shine. Mislabesh besalmo, that's what it says in the Medrash. Misatev besalmo, he wrapped himself in the salmo, ve'ivikoy. Again, it's not the exact pshat in Pasuk. Pasuk is a salmo, is a mashal. Oil kasalmo. Oil is similar to a salmo. Oil is similar to oil is not similar. You know, the similar pshat in Pasuk. Oil is like a salmo. How does the able to get dressed? How does he cover himself with light? But that's not the way in Medrash. That's not the way the Maimon. Maimon says, how do you get to oil to salmon? We should, yeah, you're right. We should look up pasukos in a second. So the first thing it says, number one, it says here that the salmon, the highest level of salmon, that is machshovet debano emlech. The Eibush is machshovet. The Eibush does thought kaviyachol, interest in ano emlech, to be king. Like we said, how do we be a king? He wants, in other words, he has this interest. There should be something outside, so you should be able to rule over this reality. That is like that is like a salmon. That's something outside. It's like a psila. Because then because those are lots of Anoim, which is the Salma that creates the Erim Sor, that creates the Gili of the Erim Sor, to be able to read the Erim. Move on, and one thing is understood. Shanechas or Oyer Shebe'etzim. She'oyer Shebe'etzim Cheser Loyer. What level of, that's another point, it's already another point, of what Oyer is Nechas in the Salma, what Oyer is Nechas in the Psila, that's a Oyer that's Oyer. It's a lower level in the earth. Just like you mentioned before, what in the end, which oil goes in the psila? It's not the etzem oil shalamayla mi oil v'chaim. It's the oil which is take loyal silence. It's another point he's making. Okay, let's find the third.
I'm not seeing the.
What?
I'm not seeing the camera. Sorry.
Oh, really? Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Agimel. So he said there's two findings. We have two mashalim. One marshal from the. It's not only said. He said Kama finding. He said before. If you remember, zel ma'ilom izeh. You have to understand that too. So we have two. Marshal number one was from Mashpia Makaba, from a teacher and a student. Marshal number two was from Psila and Oyer, also Salma and Oyer. Gimel, the third way, the Mamash Hafshata de Kaverta, שעל עצם ההצלה והכובע נמצא פני ישראל והגיל. So I guess it's just a matter of what are the three stages. Number one, pshat number one was the to the atzara v'akova, the mashpia can lower himself to the world with a makabel. The second pshat is the to the atzara v'akova. He creates the psila. He allows for the makabel to exist. By the third, there is a oil, but it says the third pshat is more pshat. Sha'etzem ha'atzor v'akova nimtza v'agil. The atzor v'akova itself, that creates automatically the v'agil. V'hu, what is the explanation to that? L'yoyz the ikar kavoni she'ir giler, the ultimate purpose, the ultimate intent that the Eibishter really wants, kavona elyoina, is there should be giler. The ikar she'giler v'hu atzamos ba'atzmos. That is the ultimate Ratzon, the Eibishter wants, that in Atzmus. Sheyegili oil, al deh hakova ushum izgal ha'Ratzon Atzmus from izgal. The hakova, that is what creates the gila oil, v'zein et shemesh ha'mogen, that's the union of shemesh ha'mogen, havai elikim, shal deh ha'mogen v'nartek ha'matzim ha'akev, it's a darko ha'gila. So we have three points. Now he's continuing explaining it, so that itself is also not clear to me. If the Emshech is only on the number 3 or it applies to all 3. But let's look for a second in the mind of the Friedrich Rebbe. A second. Where is it? No, not this. No, it's not this either. So I never put it up. I thought I put it up. 1 second.
Really, what's the difference between the second and the third?
But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm saying the third is Mamash Hafshata. 1 second, let's see. I never put it up. Oh gosh, I never put it up.
The third one is not a deal. He's saying something very powerful, but this is not a deal. Why you need the cover?
Yeah. 1 second. So was it? I thought I put it up. 1 second, let me find it. Well, it's also not. 1 second. Let's all right. Here it is. Okay. Second. Why is it? Oh, something happened to my computer. 1 second. Sorry. Oh, disconnect. Give me a second. Okay. Where's it work? Sorry. Okay. Okay, here you go. Okay, yes. Oh, so okay. 78. Okay, I'm putting up on the WhatsApp. Okay, if you want to go into your WhatsApp, you'll find it there. You see in the WhatsApp, it says page, okay, it's a Kuf Samach Tes. It says like this. Zek Shemesh Magen Avayalikim, and then in the middle in the paragraph it says exactly our mimer, but it's a little more barichas. Maybe that will help us better. Tam v'siba sadova ishlavar begibel neifanim zel ma'ala mizeh. That's how the Friedrich Rebbe copies this idea here from here. You have it? You see it? Okay, I'm going to read from here also. Maybe we'll read this. Okay. Aleph Shalidesh, I'll go back to 3 levels. Aleph Shalidesh mashpia ma'aka v'sashpor ba'atzma yonatz ber shetach ha'makabel. Okay, it's more or less the words what it says here. Just adds a few words. Shetach. The tudo ma'aka v'sashpor ba'atzma yonatz ber ha'makabel. Dina mashpia b'shemaskel masek ha'sechel ha'atzma inside the floss ha'sechel shabayif and moved and be'emes ha'mayla be'ech me'us shetach ha'makabel gamre. So it's interesting how he adds the word shetach. The Rebbe Nishmat saying doesn't write the word shetach. The Rebbe is a merech hamakabel. He says shetach hamakabel. Erech mehus shetach hamakabel. If you look at adds words that gives us a little. I mean, I don't know if you understand better, but we have words to describe what he's talking about. It's more or less the same words that here. Like we said earlier, that the Shama Datzilus is like a son who searches the treasures of the house. The Gniza, the base of Nesatzilus, the Ma'am Atzilus. Again, it doesn't add, in that line, it doesn't add anything. So So now here the Frierdiker Rebbe adds a few lines to explain what we just learned. I don't know if it adds that much, but even just adds words. Because the mashpia be'etzem mashasech naberes letomit. Real mashpia is someone that the sech naberes letomit. His mind is constantly flowing. When he blocks that, and he blocks, and it contains and hides the sechel atzma, he lowers himself from his previous state of mode of operation, and he lowers himself to the state of the makabel. In the beginning, before he lowers himself, he's muflo. He's separated from the shetach makabel. So he had a few words here that maybe gives us a better grasp what he's talking about. Okay, that again, he develops the words. The Rebbe should say, he says a few more words. Even at that stage when he blocks and he hides this doesn't mean the sech is not there. He just blocks it. Then he lowers himself to the world should be be'er shetach hamakabel in the level of the shetach hamakabel means the world of the makabel. Nas nimtzatz le'yasech hashech hamakabel. Biyadu sheyesh b'ze seder ha'amshocha ve'yerod ha'sasech ha'mdarga l'darga shemתחיל נמצא נקוד אחר כך מספר של דבר אחר כך המשכה מספר של דבר נעשה בערך שטח מקבל. So now Maimer it's like a chatzi eagle. ידוע שיש בזה seder. Here the Frierdiker Rebbe develops it a little more. Like I said before, it's Yud Kevov. See, now Maimer only brings the Yud and the Hey. It just says Nekuda mispashit. In the Frierdiker Rebbe it says v'achar kach ha'amshocha mispashit. That the Vov K. But that's not something again. Bonus of our concept. Okay, now he jumps right away. Like in our mind, it says Kamoikan Lamaila. The Giloi Ha'era de Yerida. The Giloi is to Yerida, because the Tereda was the Lashon of that's the Lashon Tereda. Zel Lashon Atzilus, Lashon Kodesh, Shlashon Yerida v'Hashpala. Atzilus means. So in modern translation of Atzilus means emanation. I don't know what that word means. It's understanding, but Atzilus means. But in the Lashon Torah, Atzilus means a certain lowering of your being. That you lower yourself from your higher level.
In the modern Hebrew, maybe it's hashra or hashra'a.
Maybe, yeah, okay, possible, yeah, sure. Atzilus. What modern Hebrew we don't use the word atzilus. Atzil means someone who means the opposite. Means the person is very lofty and high. The way atzilus is lost deal is going to be the pasuk. Kill about the pasuk. Kamoiva salty. Salty in the world. Moshe. So what does it say now? Oh, so here he's developing a little bit this thing with the fish. Oh, my mindly boss. So Moshe Rabbeinu told the Abish to mindly boss. Where did it get meat? She's about the gospel. I'll drink all the other. Lash will start to Amshachas boss or gash. As Moshe Rabbeinu is in such a high state, the Shama Datzilus boss Amshachas it's a boss. Lakach Amalek Kadosh Baruch Hu asked for the Shivimish. Bring, gather 70 people. She'ei madrega pchusa and shloim is gash mimamish. not nizgash mimamish, but they're lower level than Moshe. Ela v'atzalti minoch asher olecha v'samti aleim. Pirush, that's the Lashon Torah. She'orid ve'am shebchina shel choshen lamata madrigos. Alright, so from this Lashon Torah we learn that Pirush v'atzalti orid ve'amshe. V'hainu d'Atzilus hu b'chinas agilu shechutz la'atzmos hakaviach. הרי זה על ידי ירידה כביכול שנעשה בערך האלומס, על ידי זה דווקא המשך הזרע והגילוי. Okay, so we got the way he describes the first level. So the first level, at least I don't see here this entire thing we just read. That's the Lashon Torah. So now Maimer in Einches is not mighty Lashon Torah. The Frierdiker was copied from the Torah. There's all these 5 lines.
It seems I'm sorry. So it seems like the Frierdiker Rebbe is emphasizing the word shetach. It says to repeat that word
you're right.
many times. So what's that it wants to say with this word? You know what's? It seems like this is like a key word in this explanation.
Sure.
I think it's worth thinking about what is it? Why is bringing that word specifically?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I don't know. There's the Mekabel Shetach Mekabel. Shetach means the territory, like in modern terms of say the dimension. You lower yourself to the dimension. The level, right? The territory of the Mekabel. So in that but generally speaking, in this first Eifen, we don't see. I mean.
In Atzilus, you said before, Atzil in Hebrew means uplifted. Atzilus, it's called Atzilus because that's like the sum of glory.
No,
it's not a nivra.
No, Esav Samach is a remez. That's mamash a remez. That's a pshat.
But in pshat, why is it called Atzilus? What's the difference between that and the because
Atzilus means not Matzil. Atzilus means that's the element. Atzil is a sphere. He emanated the sphere. Simple. Esav Samach is mamash a remez. That's not. That's the word Atzilus, like it says in this psukim. V'atzalti min haruach. Atzalti means I'll flow. Atzilus means it's a flow. It's an expression of godliness. Olam Atzilus is the olam of the spheres of the Eibush are expressed. It's a motion Atzilus and a motion emanation, not a motion. Etzel v'samach is a remez. That Atzilus motion etzel, but that's not the meaning of the word Atzilus.
So what's the difference between Bria to Yetzirah on Atzilus?
Very simple. Bria means creating something outside of himself. Atzilus means you express yourself. You emanate. It's an expression of the spirit of the spheres of the Eibush himself, the Eibush's koiches. So that's the simple meaning of Atzilus. Okay, like I said, that's like Etzler v'Samachle, but that's a remes.
It's not a nivra. Atzilus.
Exactly.
That's Etzler v'Samachle.
Okay. Like I said, Etzler v'Samachle is pshat, but it's not not pshat. It's like a remes in the word Atzilus, but that's not the meaning of the word. It's what I was saying, like that's the pasuk we just said. V'atzalti min haruach, v'yetzel min haruach. That's not lashon etzloi. Atzilus means I expressed, I emanated. Okay. So again, let's start. I mean, like you said, Danny, the word of Frierdiker Rebbe added is shetach, which I don't know what does. Okay, maybe can. The point is that the way this first explanation, why again, what are we dealing with? We have the major question here: how is it possible? Why do we say that atzova akova, the blockage and the concealment that creates the gilui? This is the key question. So the first example is from Mashpia Mekabel and Oirid va'amsha. Oirid means you have to lower it. In order to create, in order to shine, you have to lower yourself. This is the point, the key point of the first Eifen. In order for the concept of Oir v'Gilui should happen, there has to be a descent. Oirid va'amsha. והצלת, יש למעלה מדרגות, למטה מדרגות, שיהיה למטה מדרגות. So במילא, that's called ha'atzara v'ha'akova, because you block your real being, you conceal who you really are, and you lower yourself to low state to shine into a different world. So that's explanation number one, why ha'atzara v'ha'akova creates guilt. Base, again, he copies what it says in our Maimah, but maybe adds a few words. Maybe that will explain better what the difference is. Bezu shadea cover yesh la davar nechaz. That's basically again the words that we have in our Maimah. But there's a nasa prinasayr to the hakova. There's a davar nechaz. There's an object that captures it, and that makes it a k'moyer ba'ir aneir da'adei apsil nasa yamir. Shalo yesh la apsila. It's interesting to hear the Frierdiker Rebbe skips in the Rebbe Rashav's Maimah. He brings in that etzem ha'oyer, look, that the Seder Eish ein ha'oyer ve'ein ha'cham. Frierdiker Rebbe skips that line. That's not. It's interesting. That's not important to him. This point that etzem Seder Eish ein ha'oyer ve'ein ha'cham. He just says a practical thing. In order for light for the light to burn, you need a wick. You need something to hold it, to capture it.
So why do you need a cover to be nechas? I mean,
So the cover that it doesn't say the cover that is the psila.
No, the cover. We're saying through the cover that the ore is nechas. I mean, I can see. By the candle, you need to hold you need to hold the matches next to the. I mean,
no, not in all the matches. Okay, obviously you have to hold the matches. In order the fire should burn, there needs to be a wick. Something else. The matches are also wick. It needs to be something that holds the fire. So the cover, basically the psila. That is the cover. A cover is the psila. A cover doesn't mean a cover means that there's a creation of there's something outside of yourself. So that's different than in the first marshal. How is it different? In the first marshal, in the mashpia makaba, cover means that the mashpia puts himself aside. The second, it's not just he puts himself aside; he creates something outside of himself. There's an outside. A much stronger hakova. Hakova means not only am I away, there's something else there that makes the oil exist. It's different. But he said earlier, Zela Mailam, I don't know which is higher. So that's the way we have it here. But Dugum Zema Lamaila. I'm sorry, Danis, what's your point here? What do you want to say?
Well, I see also in our sefer it says habetu shadeh hakova yesh leor davar hanechas.
No, that says also the Frierdiker Rebbe says exactly the same thing.
Correct, correct. That's what I'm saying. It says hakova yesh leor davar hanechas. It doesn't say that the hakova is the fetila. There's a nasa b'chnat or. I'm reading from our sefer. I'm not reading from the.
Yeah, it's saying the same lashon in the Frierdiker Rebbe's Maimas. But so what is the so
No, my question is what's the hakova here is doing? You say, but because it's saying through the hakova yesh leha or davar hanechas. How is it possible? In other words, unless I don't understand the pshat, because he's saying that through the hakova, therefore if there is a hakova, then the or has something to hold on to.
I think the hakova, like I said before, hakova means that the mashpia puts himself aside. Not only that's in the first marshal. Not only he puts himself aside, he creates something that's not him. He creates a separate entity, which is the psila, which is even more than I read it from before. Before it was mamash. He puts himself away. He created the hakova means the creation of something, some other being, a psilo, a davar nechas, which is like a modern. In other words, he doesn't describe, he doesn't explain how the hakova creates it.
Yeah,
it sounds like he is not lowering himself. He's creating something that this is causing the Yerida.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it does. You're right. It doesn't say the word is lowering himself, just says to create something else. But he jumps right away to the Nimshul. Let's see, maybe in the Nimshul understand better. He brings the same point. The Dafka, they are Salma Levush, not from the Server Gila. Zed is a Medrash Rabbe,
Where are you reading? I have only one page to tell me for free.
Go on top, it says Habo, next. You didn't see it. You see Habo? Did you read it? Can you see it? Do you see it there or not? If not, I'll put it second. I'll put the next page.
I don't see it.
You don't see it? Okay, I'll put it up there. Okay. And now go into the WhatsApp now. Okay, see now that's the next page. All right, so show maschas v'adugma. Adugma zilin l'mayla the ksiv oter kasama.
Thank you.
The davka the asama levush not a pina savagil. That is a matter shav mechan yivas oir amalei melamed. That what I guess amaloi now my doesn't say amaloi. I mean one as the, I don't know. Melamed shisata v'akadosh baruch kasama v'ivin ksiv ador. Tzarich lovin. Okay, he says the question is similar to a little similar to language. It's now Maima. What does it say? So what's the question? Why is the question why is the question like we said before? Because the same point says now Maima. Weil ze Omar Shisadu Gasama eine Dover Nechas I so here doesn't add anything to what it says in our mind. I don't see how he explains better. So, but maybe we're repeating it. Maybe we have a little inkling what he's trying to say. So again, so the difference if na Aleph and if na Beis will be if na Aleph, it's the Helem Mashpia, and if na Beis, the Hakova creates a makabel, creates a psila, which is interesting. It creates something else. But how does that hakova? But I guess hakova because what?
So maybe the second method is talking that it is going to leave room. It's going to create atmosphere for the makabel to exist. You know,
exactly.
The peula is on the makabel. The first one is peula on the meshpia.
Maybe okay, all right. Okay. But so that's also called the hakova. Gimel. Then he goes to the gimel, and the gimel is mamish, also like an almaima. Shalideya etzem hatzor v'hakova nimtza p'nesor v'gimel. Which is mamish hafshat the kaverta, exactly like an almaima. V'uli yois the ikar kavana shigil kavana is the barotzen amochor ba'atna. The hakova which is gala rotzna atzna is p'nes gil. It doesn't add anything to what it says now. But that comes mamash exactly the same lush. Doesn't add anything. No. Chul. See, in our mind it says chul. The Rebbe once said by Fabrengen, it is kiss of Lamed Zayin that the Rebbe Rashab writes a lot of times about chul. But the Friedrich Rebbe when he copied it took out all the chuls. But so we have here these three ways of explaining why Hatzor HaKova, that is the only way to get Ergil.
I'm sorry, what's the pshat in that?
The third one, I don't know pshat.
No, that he takes out the chulus, I'm saying.
Oh, the Rebbe says, I think the Rebbe said it, but you can look up the Sikh, this case of Lamed Zayin, spoke about chulus, the chulim is like, sometimes I think something like this, a machshava, that in his mind he wanted to say more, and the Friedrich Rebbe, when he copied it, he just, I don't know, It's one of
Also in
the
the Rishimis, he's saying that the Matik from the Maimer from Tzemach wrote sleep, no geendet. And the Tzemach said, Petach, what sleep? There's so much after that.
sleep. What do you say? Sleep?
Sleep, Samach Lamed Yud Kuf.
Oh, sleep.
Geendet.
Sleep. Oh, yeah, sleep. Okay, yeah. Okay. Anyways, Tama said the Chagam. Okay, so you finished sort of understand. I think we like to dig more into understanding what are the three madrigas exactly. All right.
So the third one. Okay, now just the third one, and later on when it says that Shaldeh Magim and Artik in our paper.
Yes, the Magim and Artik. I'm not, especially the Fede have broke the mimer here. It sounds like what he goes on that applies to all three. I'm not. That's why I wasn't sure if the next sentence applies only to number Gimel or it applies to all of them.
It seems like the last and the three because he's saying that the Shaldeh. I don't want to hold you back, but saying Shaldeh Hamagim and Artik Hamasir or Makim. They said Damko Gilui. The origin of the third one is Mitgala Arason Asmi Leo Bechna Gilui Or, and it seems like the third one is talking about the Hamasir or Magim and Artik. Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. Well,
So yeah.
Yeah.
Shekayach.